Hi, good morning, everyone. And how did our week go? So this is another series of what did you learn while coding. So I just want to give a summary of what I learned this week as regards software development. All right, guys. So one of the things I did this week was I went back to one of the software I have the school management solution, as we all know, and I needed to, due to the challenge I used to have with Heroku, being a non-serverless environment or non-serverless computing environment, I need to switch from Heroku to a serverless computing environment due to, payment for billings. Heroku sometimes they don't do the pay as you go thing. So how the structure of billing is that, as long as the software is there, they are always charging you, regardless of whether it's being used or not. So then I had to switch down to Vercel, and actually I wanted to switch down to AWS, so I used the Amazon um, Beanstalk, yeah. So and I'm gonna show that also. I think we are seeing that on the screen because I'm gonna attach a picture of this explanation on the video. So like I said, one of the things I did was I used Elastic Beanstalk from Amazon, and the Elastic Beanstalk is in such a way where you create there are two ways you do it. Either you upload your source, your code base, right, your backend code base, to deploy it to Amazon, all right, because it is also a serverless computing thing. So and but due to the urgency, I later had to switch down to. I even tried Firebase, so I use the Firebase function to upload the backend server, but also that means that was like using there's some key things in Firebase like the functions and all of those things. So I created an environment for Firebase and the Firebase deploy thing. But eventually I had to switch to Vercel. So Vercel was an easy deployment tool for me, and the software was built on a React environment, so it was easier to deploy both front end and back end to Vercel. So that was one of the things I did. So I had to switch from Heroku down to Vercel deployments. Another thing I looked at this week was I created a lot of random APIs, and don't forget, we know API as an application programming interface. It's more like in a restaurant. The API is like the server, people that serve the food. The back end is people that put the food there, and the front end is like the people that are going to eat the food. So that's how API is. So API is like a connection between a communication between two people. So there are so many APIs. When you create APIs, we all know popular API tools to test the API, Postman, Insomnia. So obviously there are so many. Endpoint and route I created, additional route I created, and also one of the things I did on that same project was that I had to check my domain authority. So we have domain authority is like the search engine ranking. So where the ranks, when you have a product or you have a software, a lot of people are doing the same thing you're doing. All right, so it's now left to how you can run your SEO, how you can have an higher domain authority by populating your software with a lot of content, a lot of so many things that involve from on page SEO to backlinks, adding backlinks, and also. But when you check some popular sites, like we have the Moz.com. So Moz.com, when you just paste your URL of your site there, so Moz.com will tell you your domain authority. It's on the scale of 1 to 100. So I had to check the domain authority, and I saw that it was very poor. That was because there were a lot, like they were have not been focusing more on my software, so because of other demands and other stuff like that. So and these are just some of the things that I worked on. All right, so I also worked on a switch statement. Yes, a switch. I created a backend API, just like we have uh a for Facebook, for instance, just like we have pages, Facebook page where one can switch from one page to the other. So the algorithm behind that was also implemented, not within that context, but within the context of having a session. So there's a session of 2021 is a session, another year is a session. So when you are switching from one session to the other, the data changes. All right. So also I checked my Amazon S3. Amazon S3 is for file upload. So it's very seamless because it's not heavy. So we have so many software you can, or you can upload your site. Even Firebase does that. Amazon does that. Depending on the type of file you want to upload. Cloudinary does that for image and all of this. And so I checked the Amazon Web3, and I made sure that there was no break from that part. All right. So another question I want to ask to developers is that sometimes when you're creating a mapping function in JavaScript, and there are times you need to add a semicolon, a question mark to a mapping function. I want to ask why that is necessary, sister, because sometimes your code brings an error from your console without adding those semicolon. Why is that semicolon necessary? So that is one of also the questions I discovered while what I did here this week. And so basically these are the things that um that we did this week. And every other things I'm gonna put that in the next video.